I had made this setup 3 years back when I was breeding goldfish, mollies, bettas, guppies. I needed brine shrimp. I used 2 cold drink bottles, cut them accordingly, made a hole over here inside, as you can see, and then put an oxygen pipe through this, made a hole over here, this one, and slightly inserted inside. I tested and made sure there was no leakage from the inside, from here to here. This water, because I washed it, you can see this water, this will also go away. So this is the setup. It's very easy. Just 2 plastic bottles. You can increase the size of the bottles if you want to make more brine shrimp and hatch more eggs. But this should be the minimum size of the bottle, some 200-250 ml bottles. For setting this up, so before you add water, just close this and make sure this is tightly inserted over here. Some rock salt. You'll need some of this. Because you cannot hatch brine shrimp without salted water. Now we'll add water. Make sure the cork is tightly closed. Let's add some more water. Don't fill it fully. Leave some space over here. I placed it in my small tank, which is currently empty now. Otherwise I place it separately on a table. Now we have to connect this to an air pump. Still don't open the cork or the water will flow back. Sometimes it will not, because this is the height which will stop the flow of water. Let's switch on and see how it works. Slowly you can see the bubbles have started appearing. This much is fine. These are the brine shrimp eggs I had ordered online. It was almost full, but now it's almost empty after using it. We'll take some amount. Don't take too much, or else your eggs will be wasted and will not hatch. Pour it slowly. At the beginning, few eggs will float over here with the pressure of the bubbles. Just mix them with water. Once they get wet, all will settle down. It takes 24 hours exactly for the brine shrimp to hatch, but Sometimes it hatches early also, between 14 to 16 hours, but you need light, and now I'm going to add light externally. Let's see. So the best object to be used as a torch or light is the mobile. It lasts from around 24 to 48 hours, and this is the best placement on the top so that all the eggs receive equal amount of light, which is very important and crucial for their hatching. This is the placement which you should be looking at, but if not, then this is another light, an LED light. This works two-way, like this and like these other LEDs, like this, but this consumes more battery, so this single tube will be fine until and unless it dies off. It works for around 3 to 4 hours until it goes very dim, but since this is small, we have to put it on something. So I've used this box. We place this light so that almost full portion gets the light. This will work for around 3 to 4 hours before getting dim. Then we have to recharge it again. This is a rechargeable LED light, so 2 to 3 hours it's fine until my mobile gets fully charged, because mobile is more reliable than this light, but this is temporary so that the brine shrimp hatchery does not remain in dark. I'll switch off my room light and cover this with a plastic cover so that the surrounding area doesn't get wet, because since these bubbles are coming in force, it spills some very little amount of water and everything gets a bit wet over here. That's why I've covered this, and that's it. Let's wait for around 14, 16 to 20 hours until the brine shrimp is ready. See you then. These are the empty eggshells floating, and the brine shrimps at the bottom, attracted to light, the torch that I have kept over here. After 19 hours, mostly all the eggs, 80% of them have hatched. It's time to remove them now and feed it to a discus fry. The dark brown things you can see are the unhatched eggs, which I'll be putting back into the hatchery later, and the light brown moving things are the brine shrimp. Once I separate them, I'll put the eggs back into this hatchery. There are a few more inside. We'll remove that later too. This is the second day. There are still a few remaining inside. I'll try to zoom here. We'll drain off the bottle because there are very few remaining. So you can either remove the controller over here or just open this and pour it. I'll just remove it and pour it. I have filled this first with some tap water over here so that the salt washes away with it. Be careful not to take these empty shells and just stop the flow when the bottle is almost empty. Most will stick over here, but otherwise you can see these empty shells. You don't need this. I have put a torch to attract all the brine shrimp in one place, but it will take some time. Until then, I'll show you how many brine shrimp was still left in the bottle. See here, there are so many crawling around. Brine shrimp are attracted towards light, so I have put a torch over here to attract them on one side. It will be easy for me to remove them for feeding. I'll just give you a close-up look. These eggs, the darker colors, you can see they are probably spoiled and will not hatch. Since they are not floating, that means they are bad ones, not the empty ones. I'll remove this torch. I'll try to zoom in. Here you can see how many eggs and how many shrimp are still remaining. I'll get them on one side and then remove them through a pipe tubing. They should be fed within 24 hours after hatching, otherwise they lose their nutritional properties and value. If you want to keep them for more than 24 hours, put some oxygen inside so they can survive, but mostly they don't survive